Hi guys. Today we are going to talk about all the books I read in 2022. It was so nice to be reading again. It was not something that I was actually interested in doing in 2022. I didn't really like reading growing up. It was kind of boring. But all it takes is one book to get you into reading, and I think this book was worth the hype. This is the very first book I started reading in 2022. It's called It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. So this is for those that have not heard about it yet, which I'm pretty sure everybody has heard about it. It's about this girl and guy. They meet unexpectedly on a balcony, and then they fall in love, but Lily is still in love with her ex. So she comes across her ex. They build a connection again, which is awesome because she questions her love for her husband, Ryle. And Atlas is just there through it all, helping her and being there for her, which is awesome. I think it was just well written and it was a very good book. I would definitely start with this one, honestly, because it just really got me into reading. This right here is my favorite book that I read in 2022. As I was reading It Ends With Us, all over social media, there was going around that there was going to be a part 2 of It Ends With Us. And so it's called It Starts With Us. And I had to finish the book right away, which got me wanting to finish It Starts With Us because I was excited to see what can possibly happen next because it was such a good book. So I'm glad that was perfect timing. So in the beginning of October, It Starts With Us was released. And everybody was super excited about it because it's the part 2 of It Ends With Us. So I hope that you read this one first and then this one. This is Atlas's perspective as well as Lily's perspective of things after things have happened in It Ends With Us. And I would say I would rate this a 4. So it says Lily and Ryle have just settled into a civil co-parenting rhythm and with their daughter, Emerson, when Lily suddenly runs into Atlas nearly 2 years later after they last spoke. Elated and the timing finally seems to be right to give what they have together a real chance. Atlas asks Lily on a date. So this is more of like continuing the storyline of Atlas and Lily and their love life. I don't personally like giving anything away, but I think that this was a good way to like end the storyline of these 2 books. It's worth the read. I feel like it's a must, but I do rate it a 4 out of 5. So I could not get over reading. I was just hooked. I was just hooked on Colleen Hoover, and I felt like there were so many books out there that was getting recommended to read, but I just could not get over Colleen Hoover. Like, her books, to me, it just kept me reading, and I feel like I didn't want to read another author and then I just not like reading anymore. So I felt like I had to continue the Colleen Hoover books. That's just me personally. I still want to read every single one of her books. They've all got great reviews. There's just a specific order that I'm reading them in. The next book I read from Colleen Hoover is Ugly Love. This book right here is awesome. I love the way it was written. It is about it's about Tate and Miles. They meet in an apartment setting, and the book is mostly about them being in their apartment. It says it's not exactly love at first sight for Tate Collins when she meets the tormented and secretive Miles Archer. They wouldn't even go so far as to consider themselves friends. The only thing Tate and Miles have in common is a mutual physical attraction that cannot be denied. Once their desires are out in the open, they realize they might have stumbled in the perfect no-strings arrangement. He isn't even looking for love, and she doesn't have time for it. So that leaves just the sex. What they've gotten could be surprisingly satisfying as long as Tate can stick to the 2 rules Miles has for her. Never ask about the past and don't expect the future. They think they can handle it, but everything is different when real emotions start to change the equation. Miles has a crazy past and just doesn't want to talk about it, and Tate is a very busy woman. She's in school and has a job, so she's very, very busy. They just agreed to not fall in love with each other and just have fun. It's a little spicy, but it's very, very good. It was just the best. It was just very cute. and I just love the ending. It just made me want to read even more of Colleen Hoover. I would rate this a 5. It's one of my favorite books, as well as It Ends With Us. Next, we have November 9th was really good by Colleen Hoover, so I had to read that one. There's also some characters from Ugly Love in November 9th. They don't really connect, but there are some characters from Ugly Love in November 9th, so we'll understand the connection between some of the characters in here. I was recommended to read Ugly Love before November 9th. It all made sense. Characters connecting to each other. November 9th is about Fallon meets Ben, an inspiring novelist, the day before her scheduled cross-country move. Their untimely attraction leads them to spend Fallon's inspiration Ben has always sought for his novel. Over time, and amidst the various relationships and tribulations of their own separate lives, they continue to meet on the same date every year. Until one day, Fallon becomes unsure if Ben has been telling her the truth or fabricating a perfect reality for the sake of the ultimate plot twist. So there is a crazy plot twist in here that I just did not expect to happen. It got me, which was very good, because plot twists I think are the best, because it's good not to read books that you just know what's gonna happen. She makes sure of not making books predictable. Her plot twist in here was, oh my god, it was mind-blowing. I'm sure you've heard of books or movies that have just like the same date of characters seeing each other just the same date every year. There was always something happening that date. I think this was just so cute. It's also one of my favorite books. So believe it or not, like, all these books were my favorite. I would rate them all 5s, except this one, only because it was just repetitive. But I do love every single one of these books. Colleen Hoover is my favorite author so far. I do plan on reading more books other than Colleen Hoover. I have a whole list of books I want to get to. I just want to get over Colleen Hoover's books, read all of hers, and then move on to other authors. I'm into romance myself, but I do plan on reading thrillers. I love life-helping books. So I plan on reading at least 4 books every single month. Now, if I don't get to that, it's only because I get too busy. Like, I love reading because it gets me off of social media. Like, instead of being on social media for 2 hours, I can just read for 2 hours. And reading has helped me get off social media. It gives me time to myself. And it just makes me happy reading these awesome books because of how well they're written. My next book, I plan on reading All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. I don't know much about this book, but I have to read it. So I'm going to read the back because I have yet to read the back of it. I just picked it up because it is by Colleen Hoover. The last thing Quinn expected was to meet the love of her life outside her fiancé's front door. A year after leaving behind her cheating partner, Quinn and Graham are in a perfect relationship that seems designed by fate. Now, 7 years later, their perfect love is threatened by their imperfect marriage. The memories, mistakes, the dreams that they have built up over the years are tearing them apart. The one thing that could save them might also be the very thing that pushes their marriage past the point of no return. It does seem different than how these other books are written. Okay, so this is more like then and now, instead of like one of the chapters being about Lily and the other one being about Ryle. So instead of different characters being each chapter, this book is written in like then and now. So these are all the books that I have recommended for you. This is actually what got me into reading. So I really hope that these were great recommendations, because I truly love Colleen Hoover and I'm pretty sure you've heard a lot about her. I do plan on reading other authors. I just wanted to get all of the Colleen Hoover books out the way. If you have any suggestions of any books that you would like me to read, please comment below. Every month I plan on sharing my books that I've read so far and books that I would like to read. So if you're interested, please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss any videos by me. I hope that you enjoyed this video, because I have so much more I want to share with you, and as much as I love reading, I'm sure you will love reading as well. And please let me know how you like this video. Bye, stars!